You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Leaked report shows Trump admin knows of threat that may send shockwaves through economy. Based on an article by Alexander Willis. Trump's AI subsidy state. Backed by Treasury's own alarm bells. The setup. The reporting here is straightforward enough. The Trump administration is aggressively propping up generative AI, even as a leaked Treasury draft warns that the sector now sits deep inside the U.S. financial system and could rattle markets, credit, chips, utilities, and data center financing if growth stumbles. Trump has blocked state-level regulation, launched an AI action plan, repealed binary rules, and openly cheered the industry. Power is making the bet. This is not an accident, and it is not a market trend discovered by neutral technocrats. The institutional power sits with the White House and the federal agencies it controls. Trump's executive order against state regulation is a deliberate transfer of risk upward as states are told to stand down while Washington clears the runway for a politically favored industry. That matters because the government is not merely observing AI's expansion. It is helping concentrate it. When the state uses its authority to accelerate build-outs, block constraints, and bless the sector with policy support, it is not regulating a technology. It is underwriting an asset class. Treasury knows the fragility. The striking part of the leaked report is not that AI is risky. It is that career Treasury analysts appear to understand the scale of the exposure better than the politicians promoting it. The draft says AI firms are more deeply entrenched in the economy than the dot-com era, and that a downturn could hit stock markets, private credit, cloud providers, chipmakers, and utilities all at once. That is the real story. Officials are publicly inflating the bubble while privately cataloging the blast radius. The same government that talks about productivity and innovation is apparently aware that much of the financial system is now leaning on AI meeting expectations it has not yet earned. Who gets blamed when it breaks? The framing here should be resisted. If the sector fractures, the blame will be pushed toward abstract market conditions, missed productivity targets, or the usual storytelling about unforeseeable disruption. That would be nonsense. The relevant decisions are already visible: federal encouragement, deregulation, and protection from state oversight. This is the modern pattern of elite risk management. Privilege the most speculative actors, socialize the downside, then pretend the damage arrived from nowhere. The harms are not accidental byproducts, they are the predictable result of political choice. The democratic contrast. The source also shows why a real democratic politics cannot treat this as a neutral innovation policy fight. A government that helps build a fragile AI finance complex while insulating it from scrutiny is not governing for the public interest. It is serving concentrated capital and calling it progress. That leaves Democrats with an obligation bigger than ritual caution. The useful position is not AI, but safer. It is to identify the structure public power is being used to inflate private risk, lock out state-level resistance, and deepen dependence on a sector that Treasury itself says could shock the system. That is not prudent industrial policy. It is state-backed speculation with democratic oversight deliberately disabled. Systemic error. The larger pattern is familiar. Authoritarian politics does not only operate through repression, it also operates through capture subsidy and the refusal to let institutions tell the truth in public. The government builds the hazard, documents the hazard in private, and then asks everyone else to absorb the consequences when the gamble goes bad. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Raw Story for today's article, with the automated voice of John. Thanks for listening.